Hickok 45 here, holding a firearm too pretty to shoot. Wouldn't you agree? The old Henry brass frame. Well, the 1860 Henry wasn't really called the brass frame, I guess, but this one, I have the iron frame, as you know. This is the brass frame. And again, this is made by the new, Henry Firearms Company. Well, I always forget what they're called. Henry Repeating Arms, yeah, okay. So originally, of course, this was the company owned by Oliver Winchester. Benjamin Tyler Henry was one of the primary designers on all that. He worked for Winchester. And then the next model was the 1866, where they put the forearm on it, closed up the magazine tube, and put a loading gate on all the Winchesters after this one. But this is so cool, so cool. I loaded it Sunday, so we should be okay on ammo. Another little tidbit of information I won't charge you anything for, and that is, this is the rifle that I use to kill zombies in Strain 100. Yeah, in my movie debut. So, a lever gun is not a bad choice like this. If there's a zombie apocalypse, because you mainly just need bullets. You don't necessarily need a 45-70, right? If you know anything about zombies, which you should by now, 2018, you just need some bullets and a reliable firearm, and maybe quite a few of them. Wouldn't hurt, right? Does pretty well, I think. All right, enough about all that. Okay, I'm going to try to shoot over there, and yeah, I didn't mention the cool thing about playing myself, Hickok 45, is that myself, John? Not really, is it? Okay, but the cool thing was I had the option of taking any firearm that that we wanted to use, and so I had actual choice. It's kind of a funny deal. People talk about that all the time, even do videos on it. What gun would you choose for a zombie apocalypse? Well, I sort of had that option. It came about that I had to choose a rifle for a zombie apocalypse, and I chose this one. Partly because I knew it was pretty and I just liked it. All right, let's shoot. Okay, see if I can see these sights well enough to hit something. I know the firearm is accurate, and I think it's right on the sights. We've done several videos with it. We've just not done a range 2 video with it. So like I said, we loaded it Sunday, so I think there's still ammo in it. Let's see if we can get the red plate to start out over there. Maybe I can't. I think that was low. No, it was high, okay? So, let's readjust. There we go. All right. And now, that doesn't bode well because these other targets are smaller. Let's start right beneath it. All right. Except I hit the wrong target. That went left. I saw that one. There we go. All right. I'll get the feel here where to hold. All right, let's start down the bottom there in that horizontal one. All right. Moving right up. All right, I think I figured it out. I got 2 more though, and they're small. I believe there's another one up there. It's hard to see. Oh, we're out of ammo. Okay. Whew. Okay, I get a break. I get a rest. Either way you can tell it's out of ammo. There's no ammo being elevated up from the magazine, see? To slide in. Look at that smoky chamber. All right. I always thought when I was doing cowboy action shooting that smoky chambers would be a good alias. But I think I looked it up. Somebody already had it. Somebody else had already thunk of it. So this is pretty cool the way these things load. I always hold them just enough tilts where the rounds will slide down. I know some people are pretty cavalier about it and say it doesn't matter. You just rest it on your toe. But for me, I choose not to have primers hitting bullets at full speed. I just rather they kind of float down there. Who knows, could be a little piece of grit, piece of lead or something in front of one of those bullets, and just perfectly positioned to smack the primer on that next one that falls, and it might not make for a good day. Now, even though some of this is archaic and it's negative, you could say that's one of the negatives, the fact that you have that open magazine and the way it loads and everything, it's still so incredibly cool. It just really is, because it works well. And yeah, dirt got into the mags, and that was a negative on these firearms. But it was hard to top off. Of course, you couldn't get to the loading gate and some things like that. But I mean to tell you, this thing goes off the scale when it comes to cool factor, fun to shoot, and the history. I mean, the historical aspect of it. It's not just cool for cool's sake. It's cool because it's so historical too, and it's beautiful. Did I say that yet? Oh man, I still got one of those little ones to hit. Let's elevate a bullet, put it in the chamber. All right, here we go. See how many 100 rounds it takes me to get that one. I think I'm having a hard time seeing it. I see something shiny. I guess that's a little sunlight on the bottom of it, right? All right. I think I got it. I can not hardly. I know you're thinking this guy's crazy. It's easier to see on the camera, though, especially if John has zoomed it all. But sometimes with the lighting, I really couldn't see the black on that target at all. Okay, but I think it's down. So let's move down and take out a 2 liter if we can. I can't use that same lame excuse on it. I can see it. I can see it, I just can't hit it. There we go. I'll put one on the cinder. Boom. And one on that little red plate, if I can. Went under it, I think. Yeah, I have a tendency to go left when I'm shooting over here. And you know what? I think I'm gonna shoot this round. Okay. Because I didn't want to bring another one up. I wanted some more rounds. I'm out of ammo. Okay. Well, let's just shoot. Let's just shoot something. Yeah. Okay, now it's in. I knew it was about empty there, and I wanted to load up before I take out these guys right here. So, all right. This thing is so much fun to shoot. I'm glad you all came out tonight because, you know, wouldn't want you to miss it. If I bring this thing out, you had better show up. If I bring this gorgeous rifle out and you're not here with me, for one thing, I feel a little guilty, but also be angry. I would be outraged at you. I don't get outraged enough. That's what you're supposed to do on social media. You know, you're supposed to every day find something to be outraged about and express that outrage. You know that, right? So I'm outraged at everybody not watching this. So you let them know. If you have any friends on YouTube, you know they're subscribers, and they're not watching this, you let them know I'm outraged. Okay? They should be here because, I mean, this thing is, look at that. There ought to be a law, really, against making a fire. I sound like a Henry ad. I don't mean to do that. But there ought to be a law against owning a firearm that pretty and that historical. You get this thing out more often. Okay. So, why did I load all those rounds up? Does that mean we have to shoot them? We'll shoot some of them. All right. Let's put one in the chamber. Let's empty this thing. Yeah, I mean, why not? We might as well empty it. Didn't take long. Oh, man. So, there we go. A little range 2 action with the brass-framed Henry. One of my very favorite rifles. And I need to shoot more often. It's that simple. That's the one cartridge, I think, one of the very, very few that Federal doesn't load for. And who is it that's given me a case or two? That Buffalo Arms, or no, Buffalo Ammunition, I think it's called. I'm sorry, I can't remember. And in that chambering. So they're good folks. But boy, what a rifle. What a piece of history. And you notice in some of the Westerns, if you watch many Westerns, you will encounter one, an older one, where they have taken, I think, an old model. I don't know, they may have just made the firearms out of something, Frankensteined them. I have seen them in several Westerns, and it's the same rifles. And they have probably rented them from the same studio, of course, that created them, manufactured them, or made them. And they're trying to make them look like Henry rifles. I can't think of the names of the Westerns now, but I've seen them in at least 2 or 3. And they have a loading gate on them. They look like a Henry, you know, when you see them at first, and then as you get closer, they look like someone took a model 1866 or sometimes an 1873 Winchester, and they painted the receiver. It literally looks like they did. They just painted it gold or something, or even kind of a weird silver. And they took the forearm off of it. It's got a closed magazine, so they're not Henrys. I don't know if I made replica Henrys back in like the 40s and 50s, and they wouldn't be using real ones. And they tried to make them look like, my point is, they tried to make them look like this rifle, because there's just something cool about not having a forearm on the rifle and on a lever gun. I've always thought so anyway. I think a lot of other people must. So they tried to create a Henry looking rifle, at least, you know, in for those movies. And they do look pretty cool, but when you look at them closely, they're not Henrys. You know, they just tried to make them look like it. And they've got a loading gate too, it's a giveaway. But so 4440, if I didn't say, that's what we're shooting, and all that. So metallic sights, you know, I can see them well enough to hit most of what I want to hit. Someone who's like 50 years younger could probably shoot it better than I can, but it's fun. It is fun, and I guess I'll quit slobbering on it. You know, you just know I like lever guns, right? And this one's really cool. So glad you came out today. We appreciate your support as always, and we'll just say that. I mean, we really appreciate your support, and the fact that so many of you support the people that support us, because you're supporting us when you support them. And we're just happy you came along, though, to enjoy the night air and the evening over here in the woods with us. And glad you were quiet while I was shooting, or else I could have used that as an excuse. Life is good.